And we're back with more Echo.
Hello.
And this time, despite Harry's protests, we're going to be doing my favorite of these
The
short
only
stories.
thing in my head is 5 grams of cocaine.
Wait, what?
Yep.
Yep.
When will this all end? Whenever I'm not alone.
Fly away.
Okay, I don't understand any of this, so we're just gonna go ahead and start the short story.
Hello.
Ha funny dancing cow.
Well, this is May 2010, and the protagonist this time is Hannah.
I mean, Jenna's the
Hello.
protagonist, but
The sun has begun to set. If I want to avoid Dad and Jeremy, I'll have to leave soon. I take another look around my room, just to make sure I haven't missed anything. With my bookshelf empty and all the clothes packed away, it feels a little bleak, gloomy. If not for the posters still hanging on the walls, you'd be forgiven for thinking that no one had lived here. It reminds me of one of those TV shows where they explore abandoned, haunted buildings. And while this place isn't particularly haunted, at least, well, as far as I know, plenty of terrifying things have happened here. Part of the reason I want nothing more than behind me. I zip up the duffel bag, not particularly easy with my paws trembling so much, and I take my phone out of my purse, reading Chase's messages again. He says he'll be waiting at the diner. When I ask if Leo will be coming along, he replies with an emoticon, shaking its head. Figures. I hoist the duffel bag over my shoulder and waddle towards the door, snagging my necklace, the one Jeremy gave me, off the nightstand along the way. I put my ear to the door and listen for any signs of my family before even thinking of opening it. Usually, I can tell when they're home by the shouting and screaming of Dad and Jeremy's daily arguments, but I want to be sure. Once I'm sure the coast is absolutely clear, I open the door and start walking. First, out of my stuffy room, then out of the hallway, and then out of the house. I lock the door and put the key under the doormat, looking over my shoulder at the house where I've spent the past 17 years of my life.
Okay, I've done the math wrong then. So that means Chase was 16, TJ was 14 in the last one.
all the more reason for him to be a scared, shy little dude.
Whoa, you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
It's just a house to me, not a home. Hell, school feels more like a home than this place does.
Is TJ okay, Hannah?
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm fine. I just have a cold.
Yeah, he's been having a bit of a cough.
Okay, I didn't know he had a cold.
Yeah.
I teach in a cesspool of germs. That's all teachers do.
In which I've been also kind of occasionally coughing, so I'm like, bleh.
I thought I went far enough away.
Well, I mean, you can't get far enough away when you have that loud of a cough. That's why I was wondering.
I expected to feel regret setting in about now, but I can only grin like an idiot. Simply walking out that door feels like an achievement. I don't think I've ever felt this kind of rush before. I'm free. I'm not going to become another Janice, working a mindless, soul-sucking job while sighing to everyone who'll hear and not listen, because people in Echo never listen. about what could and should have.
Oh, you cut off at the end. I think
Yeah, I put the
because
car
traffic
broke
was
by.
coming through, yeah.
About what could and should have been. I'm going to college, on the other side of the state, far away from this dusty, dried-up shithole. I'm aware of the consequences, of the potential problems that could await me, yet the pros far outweigh the cons. I run a finger over the gemstone in the necklace, and feel a pang of guilt in my stomach. Jeremy will have to deal with Mom and Dad all on his own. And while he certainly hasn't made my life any, he doesn't deserve that. Nobody does. If it hadn't been for Clint, he might have turned out all right. But I've made up my mind. And so I head towards the diner, struggling to keep myself upright, duffel bag in one paw, my purse in the other. And while people walking around with shifty-looking bags at night isn't an uncommon sight in Echo, I stick to the shadows regardless. I try to resist the urge to look over my shoulder every 3 steps. Jeremy could be hiding in every shadow, or so my mind tells me. I feel like a child again. I really shouldn't have packed this much. These bags are way too heavy. After nearly tripping over several rocks, I can finally breathe a sigh of relief when the familiar lights of the diner come into view. On the other side of the road stands the motel, a lone car parked in its parking lot. Even as a dot in the distance, I recognize it instantly. It's Chase's parents' car. I walk over as fast as I can on these heels. Chase is leaning against his car, his face illuminated by the light of his phone. Once he notices me walking towards him, he slides it into his pocket. With his paws still in his pockets, he walks to the edge of the parking lot. Motel's parking lot is quiet and dark, but not unpleasant. It's cooled down considerably. Not quite to the point where I'd be worried about catching a cold, but cool enough not to get heat stroke after taking 10 steps.
Let me handle this.
He hunches over with a grunt as he lifts my duffel bag from my paws.
Shit, Jazz. Did you fill this thing with bricks?
I giggle at the sight of him, folding my arms. Just the necessities, really. Clothes, a toothbrush, something to read. Oh, he grins. There was a brief moment where I totally forgot I was still the narrator.
I know, yeah. That's the thing. Every time you guys see the narrator, you always assume it's me, but for these ones, for the most part, it's not going to be. All your manga, too?
Most of it. Just the issues I haven't gotten around to reading yet. Maybe I should have filled it with bricks. Would have made for a nice prank. Once we get seated, my duffel bag in the trunk and my purse between my legs on the floor, I look out the window to the road I took to get here. I catch Chase's eye.
Where do you go?
He puts a paw on my shoulder. It's warm, and his paw pads are a little damp with sweat, but it's the most comforting thing I've felt. I'm waiting for there's a...
I get you. I hear the car.
It's actually an airplane this time.
Yeah,
Oh.
or maybe? It's...
Planes, trains, and automobiles all going right by your living room.
Yeah.
Basically.
I melt into the couch. Bleh.
I think that's what Hannah's doing, not what Jenna's doing.
I melt into the church. Just a little. I nod. As ready as I'll ever be. I lean forward to turn on the radio.
Emo.
One of Chase and Leo's songs, or as Flynn likes to call them, emo garbage with shitty lyrics, starts playing. Probably explains why the car reeks of Leo's cologne. While I don't particularly like the music, it's still miles better than the country music that usually plagues the local radio stations, so I leave it on. Chase grabs his fingers on the steering wheel in time with the beat.
You're a little muffled. I think something's blocking your mic.
Yeah. Oh. DJ's fixing that. Okay. Chase wraps his fingers on the steering wheel in time with the beat. When he notices I'm looking, he quickly averts his gaze, messing with the rear view mirror instead. I chuckle. He's cute. A different brand of cute than TJ, but cute. Where is Wolf Boy anyway? Out with the pack?
His parents needed him at the shop. He said it was urgent.
I thought his parents' place closed at 6. He shrugs.
They call him at the weirdest times. I've gotten used to it.
Still, he glances at his anchor bracelet, eventually straightening it out so the tiny anchor rests on top of his wrist. It's a habit of his I've noticed ever since they went out to buy those things. You guys okay? He sighs.
We've been better. I feel like we've got different ideas about our future. Where we're gonna take this thing we have once we're done with school.
I had a hunch. Well, less of a hunch and more noticing they weren't eating each other's faces last time I saw them. Do you want to talk about it?
It's no big deal. We'll work it out eventually.
You're not.
I didn't want to break the moment. So I was still gonna be like, we'll work it out when I tear your legs off anyway.
Oh man. It sure sounds like a big deal to me. Have you mentioned it to him? He tilts his head back.
It's not just something you can bring up out of the blue, Jazz.
If it's bothering you, you should do something about it. It'll just get worse if you don't.
I'll ask him about it when I see him.
He says it with a tone of finality. The anchor drops from the top of his wrist again. We're on the road now, moving further and further away from the diner and the motel until they're just blots in the distance. If there's one good thing about Echo, I suppose it's the spectacular sunsets. It reminds me of all the evenings I spent at TJ's house, sitting in the backyard with his family, just to watch the sun slowly sink. Sometimes his mother would put out a photo album and tell me all about where they came from, what nature there was like. Chase looks at me from the corner of his eye.
We can stop if you like. If you want to say goodbye.
I'm fine. Oh, should I redo that line?
No, I think it's fine.
Okay.
That sounded good to me.
Okay. My response is a little snippier than I would have liked. I make the effort to soften my voice. You can keep driving, Chase.
Alright. I'll have to stop for gas when we get to Peyton, though. I promised my mom I'd fill up the tank.
I don't mind. I reach into my purse to grab my wallet, but he raises his paw.
I'll pay. Don't worry about it.
Are you sure? I mean, you're going all the way out there for me. He smiles.
Seriously, don't sweat it.
It's hard to do, given the gravity of the situation, but it's a smile I gladly return. Thanks, Chase.
It's what friends are for, right?
I take my phone out of my purse. Dad's calling. He probably got home and noticed I wasn't there. The fur on the back of my neck prickles as I look at the screen. I'm tempted to pick it up.
My bad, I pressed forward.
That's alright. The song playing on the radio has stopped registering. All I can hear is buzzing. Finally, I shake my head and hit the ignore call button, thrusting the phone back into my purse, taking out a manga instead. I'm not listening to anything he has to say anymore.
What was that about?
Dad called.
You haven't been gone that long.
He stops wrapping his fingers on the steering wheel and eyes me nervously. It reminds me of TJ a little, the way his fur bristles whenever something catches the lynx off guard.
You think he knows?
I flip through my manga, taking out my bookmark. I don't know, and I really don't care. I start reading. In a town as dull as Echo, manga and anime have always filled the void pretty nicely. They've been an escape for me, a gateway to cultures and countries beyond this nothing town, places where I don't have to deal with my family. Strangely enough, I never got into Western comics much. Carl got me one of those collector's edition comics for my birthday once, but I sort of gave up on it when I hadn't finished it after a year. Mental note to get back to that one soon. The gas station between Echo and Peyton is a perfect representation of the miserable state Echo is in. It's old and decrepit, to say the least, and what little staff it has consists mostly of junkies saving up for their next fix. Usually, they get it from the dealers that show up at night around here. If the gas wasn't the cheapest around, I doubt it'd see any customers at all. Most people already try to go to avoid it whenever they can.
This place gives me the creeps. Looks like it came straight out of a horror movie.
It does. I smirk at him. Do you think there's any spiders around? He turns to me, an interesting mixture of fear and frustration etched on his face as his muzzle opens, only to close again, like a fish trying to get some air.
Don't even joke about that.
There's probably some really big ones. I walk my fingers up his arm to the back of his neck, then pinch him. Boo!
Jasmine!
He swats my paw away with a yelp.
Stop it!
I laugh. I swear, TJ keeps it together better than you sometimes. He snorts.
Only because you go easy on him.
He's not wrong. The one time I played a Chase caliber prank on TJ, he spent hours crying in his room afterwards. It was the only time I'd ever seen his mother legitimately angry. A stark contrast to her usual sunny disposition. Not much scares me, but that was a frightening experience. Hey, he's been through a lot already. I don't want to scar him for life. He raises a brow.
But I'm fair game?
Well, I get the best reactions out of you. He sighs.
Foxes.
I always feel a little guilty about playing into Chase's arachnophobia, or Chase's little spider problem, as his mom always calls it. But he's just so damn fun to tease. My greatest moment has to be when we emptied an entire bag of those tiny rubber spiders in his backpack while he was changing for gym class.
Ooh.
I can still remember the look on his face when he opened it to get his lunch. Priceless. Aw, did I offend you, Chula? I gave him a playful pat on the back. He pulls back almost instantly, as if he's afraid I'll do something. Want me to call Leo so he can kiss you all better? The exasperated look on his face is pure gold. If it wasn't so dark, I'd be filming right now.
Don't, Jasmine.
He starts fiddling with his bracelet again. I think there's only hillbilly serial killers around these parts anyway. Nothing to worry about. After getting another look from him, I lay off, completely satisfied. Chase gets out of the car to pump gas. I look out the window again to the convenience store. There are a few truckers here, but not much else. This place could use a clean. Shame that most likely won't ever happen. And probably hasn't since, what, the 50s? The most recent addition to the building is a poster for the Trinity Weasel movie starring Julia Blasco, which came out about 2 years ago. I think TJ was the only one who really liked that movie, come to think of it.
Because remember the beginning of the game where TJ talks about how he liked Trinity Weasel? They made a callback.
Nice. My stomach rumbles when I notice the sandwiches set out on the counter. I eye the clock. It's about 8, and I haven't had dinner. While I could have grabbed something at the diner, I didn't want to risk Janice seeing me and calling my parents. The sandwiches they sell at the gas station may not be as fresh or as tasty, but they'll have to do. I make a grab for my wallet again, catching my phone mid-buzz. Grumbling to myself, I take it out of my purse. 15 missed calls since the last one I saw. 14 from Dad. 1 from Jeremy. I don't know whether to laugh or cry, to be honest. I can only shake my head in disbelief. Not even half an hour into my little escape attempt, and they're already trying to drag me back to the madhouse. As long as they don't follow me here, I have nothing to worry about. But I can't shake the thought, the possibility of them just showing up, or calling the police. Or 1,000 other things they'd never actually do. I don't feel like leaving the car anymore. I don't feel all that hungry anymore either. Something light will do. I tap the window to get Chase's attention, then roll it down. Mind grabbing something from the store for me, Chase?
Of course not. What do you need?
I look up from my manga when he comes back, carrying a small plastic bag with the gas station's logo on it.
One for you.
He says in a sing-song voice, dangling a strawberry-flavored popsicle in front of me, which I greedily snatch from his paw.
And one for me.
3 popsicles come from Carl's mom's company. These popsicles come from Carl's mom's company. I've seen and eaten them more times than I can count. Back when we were kids, Carl used to boast that we were paying for his pocket money whenever he caught us eating one. Considering Carl's mom would always give us entire bunches of them for free when we visited, though, we never had to buy all that many ourselves. You remembered I like strawberries? Oh, that's sweet of you, Chase. I take a whiff of the familiar, sugary, way too chemical scent.
Well, it was the only flavor left in stock. I mean, yeah, I did. Better check the expiration date. It might be older than we are.
The rest of this place certainly is. I take a little bite. I think it's safe. I'm not dead yet, at least. He laughs, unwrapping his own before producing 2 cans of soda from the plastic bag and handing one to me.
That's a relief.
Eating popsicles and drinking soda in the parking lot of a rundown gas station. It sounds rather silly in my mind, but this is really happening. I take another bite. So, have you figured out what you're going to do once you're done with high school? He fiddles with his bracelet again.
I don't know. Leo's dad said he might have a job for me, but I don't think I'd make a good mechanic. I've got 2 left paws. I think I'd just destroy any car that came into the shop.
Why don't you apply for college?
You mean the one Pueblo?
He gives me a quick sidelong glance.
That's really far away, isn't it? I don't know, Jazz. I can't just leave Leo behind.
You've got your phone. Long-distance relationships are a thing, you know. I crumple up the popsicle wrapper, putting it down in the ashtray. They're actually all the rage these days. I've got this friend who has a boyfriend who lives on the other side of the planet. I turn and look at him. You know, I think you'd be a good fit for college, actually. Smart, motivated.
Really? I mean, I'm not all that good at anything, really. I don't know what I'd go for.
Maybe journalism or something? I mean, you were in charge of the school paper last year. You like filming and taking pictures, right? And having a degree is always good.
What are you gonna major in?
He finishes his popsicle, tossing the stick in the plastic bag. I'm going for psychology.
Oh, like the inner workings of the mind and stuff?
He pantomimes while talking, yelping when he hits his elbow on the steering wheel.
Ow.
I giggle. I suppose. Minus the bruised elbow. I want to find out what makes people do things the way they do.
So what made you do the thing you're doing right now?
His expression takes a turn for the serious.
Why'd you decide to run away?
For a moment, I'm speechless. All the heat drawing from my body as we look right at each other. I thought he was okay with me leaving when I told him, but now? His tone is almost accusatory. It reminds me of Leo. I shudder, remembering the stink eye he'd given me when I told him I was leaving. A lot of things. I brush the fur out of my eye. And I'm sorry, Chase, but most of them are none of your business.
I'm the one driving you to your new place. I think I deserve to know what's going on.
He frowns.
What did they do to you? Did they hurt you or something?
None of your business. I grit my teeth. Can we just keep driving, Chase? Please?
Jasmine, please. I want to know. If you need someone to talk to, someone who can help, me, Leo, my parents, will do whatever it takes. You don't have to do this. You can keep living in...
Is that what this is all about? I gesture to the soda cans, the empty popsicle wrappers, and the gas station. Are you just stalling so you can convince me to stay?
Jasmine.
He puts a paw on my shoulder.
I know how you feel, but running away isn't...
You don't know how I feel. I smack his paw away. You don't know the slightest thing about my situation, Chase. You don't know what it's like to live in poverty, what it can do to people. And you don't know how it feels when, no matter how hard you try to crawl out of that hole, your family will keep piling on even more dirt. I take a deep breath, realizing I'm clenching my fists. I want to live for myself, Chase. I want to go to college. I want to have a future. I can't do that in Echo. It's not the place for me. It never was.
It's not the place for any of us.
He shrugs.
But it's home, you know?
It's home for you. It's hell for me. I put my seatbelt back on. Adam's dead. Jeremy's huffing whatever the fuck he can get his paws on. And my parents? I cut myself off. I feel nauseous just talking about them. My parents just keep blaming other people for their own ineptitude. Carl, his great-great-grand whatever, you, Leo, everyone's fair game. I'm sick of it. Chase gently puts his paw on mine. This time, I don't push him away. I feel drained, exhausted. I'd cry on his shoulder, but I don't even have the energy to do that.
What'd they say about Carl? I mean, Leo and I aren't exactly Echo's darlings, but he's harmless.
Apparently, his family is the reason we're so poor. Never mind the fact that my dad can't hold a job. Hell, he can't hold anything save for a beer bottle.
Shit.
I swear I feel fine.
I don't think you do.
I mean, I don't feel fine, but
There's not much we can do about it.
I don't feel as bad as I sound.
Okay.
Say, do you need water or anything?
Nah,
Yeah.
I'm fine.
Also,
It's
DJ,
fine.
I've said this before and I still recommend this. Blowing is a lot better than sniffing.
I've been trying. It's not blowing. It's only sniffing. And I do understand that that sounds very odd out of context.
I feel like people can put the context in here, DJ. They heard you coughing. They know we're talking about your nose.
Sorry. This is such a good joke.
Shit. I didn't even know your families had a history together.
We go way back. It's complicated. The story I'd always been told was that one of Carl's ancestors had his business partner, one of my ancestors, lynched for sodomy to cover up his own crime. My parents always conveniently left out the part where they were gay lovers, of course, but a trip to the library cleared that one up. Not that they cared. My breath slows. I've stopped clenching my teeth. I'm not trembling anymore, at least, which makes drinking my soda a lot easier. Finally, Chase smiles at me.
Sorry about all that. I just want to look out for you, you know? Everyone's been really worried.
I know, and I'm sorry too. I shouldn't have lashed out like that. Did you tell your parents that that you're helping me?
I told them that I'd be taking Carl and TJ out to see the new Lions Brigade.
He puts the keys back in the ignition.
My mom's been asking about you, though.
That warms my heart a little. Chase's mother is one of the nicest.
Oh, you cut off after nicest.
Oh, dang it. Chase's mother is one of the nicest people I know. What'd she say?
Just wanted to know how you're doing. If you're eating okay, that kind of stuff. She wants you to come over for dinner sometime.
He laughs.
Maybe she's still hoping I'll go straight someday, huh?
He backs us out of the parking lot. When I look behind me, I see a group of employees crowding around a rather shady. I guess we're leaving just in... Do your parents not like that you're with Leo?
My dad adores him. I think my mom still wants grandkids eventually, but she's been pretty supportive. She just wanted me to be safe.
I know. Sanji went in another pop can thing. Quite funny. Anyway.
I get chuckle. Grandkids. I can't really picture you as a dad.
Gee, thanks.
He rolls his eyes dramatically.
You're as sharp as a box cutter sometimes, you know that?
I give his snout a playful poke with my finger. Just saying what's on my mind, otter boy. Don't take it too personally. There's a moment of silence before he speaks again.
Hey, not to change the subject, but like, won't your family be able to find you over here?
They won't. I've thought of something.
What is it?
I'm going to get my name changed when I can, once I'm 18. It won't make it impossible to find me, but hopefully it'll keep them off my tail till I can Pueblo. As long as I can remember, even before I started thinking about running away, I've wanted to change my name. Jasmine's a name, yeah, but it's never felt like a name that was really my own. It's the one my parents picked for me. I've always felt like it was one of those names usually associated with trash living in a small rural village. Citizen of Echo. It's not a name you'd really expect or want to see on the front page of a magazine or a research paper.
Really? Huh.
Yeah, I want something a little more... I bite my lip. A little more me, I guess.
What kind of name are you thinking of?
In the past, I've considered the names of actresses and singers, from CEOs to scientists. Now, though, I just blurt out the first thing that comes to me. How about Jenna? Seems like a good enough name.
Jenna?
He chuckles.
I thought you'd go for something more ostentatious.
Well, I don't want to draw too much attention to myself, and to be fair, anything's better than Jasmine.
Definitely. It's just... well, it's gonna take some getting used to.
He stares off into the distance, at the empty stretch of barren land next to the road.
Jenna.
Doesn't sound half bad, right?
Hey, it's your name.
What's that supposed to mean?
Shoot me a message once you've gotten unpacked, okay?
Chase lifts the duffel bag out of the trunk with a grunt. I wobble on my feet once I grab it, rescued by Chase giving me a hug. I struggle to reciprocate until I drop the bags. It's a little uncomfortable with both of our shirts stuck to our fur and it still being warm out, but it's not unwelcome. I nod. Drive safe.
Really?
He chuckles, pulling back.
Seriously? Do you see a dent in the scar?
Sure, that's what you said about your bike too, right before you fell flat on your...
That was 5 years ago. 5 years.
We laugh together.
It's gonna be different without you around.
I'll still be around. You dip, just in a different town. I chuckle. Maybe we can go do something together, so we could go bowling.
Sounds like fun. I'd like that. But only if you promise not to cheat again.
Hey, I beat you fair and square last time.
Of course you did, Jen.
Fine. I fold my arms. I'll go easy on you. He steps back towards the car. After a short pause, he turns around to wave. I walk up to him once again.
You're a little muffled once more.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't sound muffled once you did that, whatever that was.
Or my sniffles, on the other hand. But hey, man.
Oh, your
I leaned a
sniffles, they're
little-
coming through loud and clear, DJ. Just such crisp
worst part?
sniffle audio.
Can't hear our voices, but boy, can you hear sniffles.
Pulse.
Oh gosh. I walk up to him once again. Wait. I take Pueblo University's brochure out of my purse. For you. He looks at it for a second, dumbfounded. Summoning some of my courage and a little stupidity, I lean and give him a peck on the cheek for good measure. I love his expression right now.
Oh. Maybe I do like girls.
If Leo were here, he'd toss me through a wall. Thanks, Chase, for everything. You've been a big help. He just stands there, jaw agape, glancing down at the brochure before looking up at me.
I guess I'll see you around?
Bye, Otterboy. I grab the bags again, unable to keep myself from giggling softly, stumbled. A confused look of bewilderment still etched on his face. He clutches the brochure tightly, and I catch a glimpse of him reading through it before he drives away. When he honks the horn, I do my best to wave in spite of the bags, smiling to myself. Night.
We caught none of the after myself.
Yeah, because the car.
Ah,
Hold on.
I just assumed you were pausing because of the car.
Oh, I heard myself and then I heard night, and I'm like, they must have been speaking.
Oh, I didn't even hear night, so wow.
Yeah, that's one of the few bad things about living in this spot. Alright. When he honks the horn, I do my best to wave in spite of the bag, smiling to myself, all alone in Peyton, in the middle of the night. Chase might be the only game Leo ever beat me at, but the odds can still change.
Uh-huh.
With the bags in my paws, I waddle to the old beat-up door and wait for the door to my future to open.
She wants him.
Yep.
She wants that. He's
Now I'm gonna point this back out.
What's your other boss?
I want to point this out. Look at this. Look at the title screen here. What is Jenna looking at?
She's glaring at Leo.
You looking at Chase? She
Uh-huh.
wants that PhD. Actually, weirdly enough, it feels like she kind of has a crush on Jay too, but for whatever reason.
I'm wishing I had Leo's boy.
Oh, like that Jesse's girl but Leo's boy instead.
Yeah.
Damn.
Should
Leo's
I
daughter.
have
Leo's boy.
Oh man. But yeah, no, like this is something I had been hinting at for a bit because I had always like noticed it whenever they were talking about it in the story. But flat out, they did state the oldest relationship of all of these people was actually between Jenna and Chase.
Mm-hmm.
That even before Leo came to town, Jenna and Chase were friends before Leo.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Leo took her water.
Well, okay, in fairness, Chase is quite certain he's quite gay.
Yes.
He
So-
thinks that, but once he goes to college, he starts to think that he's bi instead, and he's not think, he realizes he's bi. Now,
Once he goes to college, where Jenna is, huh?
yeah, but here's the other thing. Don't forget, they didn't hang out. So I want to
they
bring
didn't
this
hang
up that... Why am I hearing myself?
It's Hannah did it.
Oh, really? You have got to be shitting
Your
me.
mic is probably
Okay,
too close
fine.
to your speaker.
Something.
We also aren't wearing our headphones.
Something. Continue.
Okay. Well, what I was trying to say was, when it comes down to that, one of the things I wanted to point out is don't forget that since the age of like 10, I want to say, if I'm doing my math wrong. Since the age of like 9 or 10, Chase has been possessed by a gay prostitute from 1915.
So you think that's kind of mixed in with his preferences?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I'm pretty dang certain about that because it's stated even by Sam in some of the routes that he gets weaker when they're outside of Echo. What did Chase realize once he left Echo?
You like girls.
He kind of likes Jenna. He's Jenna sexual.
I don't know where Chase would be fully on the scale if like Sam wasn't like tweaking things, but I'm pretty damn certain Sam tweaked things to make Chase more interested in men than Chase probably would have been normally.
But yeah, it's interesting because I hadn't even thought about.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, huh.
But yeah, no, it's fascinating to me to like see like evidence for at least my theory regarding Jenna's route, where by the end of it I was like, I'm pretty certain Jenna actually did have a crush on Chase even before all of this. And lo and behold, that's some pretty good evidence towards, nah, she really did actually like Chase like that for a while.
Well, and that explains why she's always trying to go out on games.
Well,
Because she's like,
so she always had a competitive thing with Leo even during their childhood. So Chase wasn't the catalyst for that. He was just another battleground for it.
well, no, but what she said was the one thing, the one game that,
The one game that Leo beat her.
well, and they are very boyfriend, girlfriend in that entire scene.
Well, that's because, like, flat out, Chase and Jenna have just really good chemistry with each other, like, as just even friends.
Yeah.
Like, that's the other thing is, Jenna's actually the only other route where if you told her that you were gay at the beginning and everything, she still has, like, a lot of the same scenes, just without, like, the sexual and romantic stuff included, because she still builds up a strong friendship with Chase. So flat out, like, Jenna's route is the only one where you can go through it and not engage with any, like, romance. She still will be happy to spend time with Chase because she genuinely gets along with him.
Yeah.
There also that car ride was kind of a cute way to see their relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and also like he helps her run away.
Oh yeah.
So, like she trusts him a lot, and he trusts her a lot. He gets himself into trouble.
Well, and heck, and he was and Jenna was one of the first people that he told her that he was gay. So.
Oh yeah.
So that's
Well,
only
no,
in
it
her
depends on
route that she was the first. Because remember, each route is different.
I guess it depends, yeah.
Mm-hmm. But she was always available as an option for that. But yeah. And now I'll just get to finally do this small last reveal at the end of this episode. Out of all the relationships in Echo, I think I've said this time and time before, but I'm going to just say it again. Jenna and Chase is my favorite dynamic for at least somebody Chase to be with.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious for this gay story. For like, yes, the best relationship for Chase, in my opinion, is with Jenna. Kudzu, though, is a really good, strong second.
Kudzu! Kudzu, best boy!
Kudzu!
I mean, we'll see. I think I like him better with knowing each other, right?
Come on.
Alright, well, say goodbye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.